Welcome to Raleigh Roots, a podcast about living, working, and raising a family in the Triangle. Join hosts Kate and Catherine for lighthearted conversations, stories, and interviews about what it is really like to live here. Whether you're thinking about moving to the Triangle or have already planted roots here, tune in and listen on your favorite device. And now your hosts, Kate and Catherine.
Hey, Raleigh peeps.
It's Kate and Catherine for our second episode.
Hi, and thanks for coming back. We are super, super thankful. We watched back. Is that proper grammar? We watched our podcast from last week or 2 weeks ago. We have lots to work on.
Yes.
But we felt the love from y'all.
We did.
I know,
We
everybody
did.
was so sweet and kind. Now, they might have talked a lot of smack behind the scenes.
True.
Which, totally acceptable.
But that's okay.
Yeah, I would have done
That's
that too.
okay.
I mean, like I said, if you didn't like it, you're supposed to lie and tell us that you did. And y'all did. Y'all were so nice. My sons were my toughest critics.
Yeah.
They were 90% embarrassed,
Okay.
which, who cares? You know what?
I don't think mine even finished the whole thing. I swear to God. I think they listened to the intro and they're like, nice job, Mom. And that was the end of it.
Yeah. Well, I do have to say that on the way to the Broughton tournament,
Yes.
Austin said the entire team, they were like, your mom started a podcast?
Oh my God.
And they were like, what is it about? And Austin kind of wanted to crawl under the seat. So it was a big reminder that I am going to have to tailor some of my stories. But don't worry, I'll still bring some good stuff. And I just noticed, can I tell them myself?
Yeah.
I went to the gym this morning. Don't be impressed. I haven't been in like 2.5, 3 weeks. And I put my hair back because I didn't shower. And it does look like I'm a grease, like a
No, you
grease.
can't see it. You cannot
It's a
see
little
it.
grease.
No,
But y'all are going to get the real deal Holyfield from us.
That's the point. It's authentic. It's real. It's about living here as moms, middle age.
Yep.
Yeah. And we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're just not.
Oh, boy. And
That's the
I'm
point. And it's super hot in here, guys. It's super hot outside. But also, I don't think the air is working in here. So we might pit out a bit.
y'all, I think it's hotter than the freaking hinges on the gates of hell today.
It's fresh out.
In here.
Fresh
in here,
out.
too. It's always hot in the summer. But today, I think it's supposed to get up to 102 or 103, and the humidity is pretty thick.
Yes. All outdoor activities should be canceled. I think that it is not smart to be outside in this environment.
And they are canceling some stuff. So if you do have outdoor activities, check to make sure that they are going on. If you don't have outdoor activities and you need something to do, we have a few options.
We're going to chat about that in a little bit. A quick recap over the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
Because we haven't seen each other. And kind of just do a quick catch up on what's been happening. So we both went to orientation, right?
We did. Yes. And I had the best time. I may have had more fun than my kid.
I think I did too. So we are both fortunate in the fact that our oldest have chosen our alma maters.
Yeah.
So I was back on the UNCW campus.
I was back on the ECU pirate train.
And it was awesome. I have to tell you, it was so great to be there and to be back on campus. And my God, are the kids so lucky that are going there now. They have so much more than we did, which makes sense. But I definitely had more fun than Joe. I can guarantee it.
And if some of you moms or dads have already experienced the college thing, what was surprising to me, first of all, they have Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's. The meal options are crazy.
Yeah.
On the ECU campus, they have these little robots that will deliver food. They're like these little square on wheels. And I guess it's like DoorDash, and you order them on your phone and it'll go to anyone on campus. They drop the food in there.
What?
And the robots bring it to you. Now, I had the freshman 15, maybe 20, maybe
I did
30.
too. I did too.
If that would have been available, these little robots, and I don't know what they're called, but they're like these little DoorDash delivery things, I would have been 200 pounds bigger.
Yeah.
Because I would have been after a wild night,
Right?
the next morning I would have been like, Chick-fil-A,
Let's do
Food
it.
Manuals, bring it on.
Did you guys have Gumby's pizza? Uh-huh. They don't have that anymore, I don't think. I don't think there's a Gumby's pizza.
I did.
But it was the best. Did you remember the extra large pizza?
Oh, yeah.
You could barely get it through the door. It was so ginormous.
So big. And it was good. And we would finish it.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of pizza. I ate a lot of pizza and there was a lot of beer.
I did not drink, Kate.
No, of course you did that.
Right.
Of course you did that.
But so orientation was awesome. You know, the campus, as far as in Greenville, it's really grown. They have added buildings. It was very organized. When I went to orientation a million years ago, the only thing on my mind was I want to learn the nightlife, right? And I'm like, who cares about the student life center and the rec center? And I don't even know if we had a rec center, or the, you know, where you go to, you know, meet your advisor. That was not on my mind.
No.
But they had it so well planned out. Now, Spence smiled at us with a little like, this is dumb, because he's a typical 18-year-old kid, right? And a boy.
And boring. They were over it.
Yeah. And he's like, I can find all this online. And it's true, right?
True. Yeah.
And I know they have to have these sessions. And I was very grateful for it. But Spence was like, I've already read some of this, or I will figure it out when I get there. But we had a great time. It was awesome.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yes.
That was good. What else have you been doing?
I worked remotely last week a few days.
Oh, did you?
And that's a fancy way of saying after the graduation madness, after, you know, trying to get my 18-year-old through school and alive and into college.
Yes.
I went away for a few days.
Okay.
I did still work, not as much as I usually do, but I did. I went to the beach. It was awesome. It was hot, but it was great to get away. I'm peeling because I did not take care of myself. Wear your sunscreen, people.
Yes.
Go to your dermatologist.
Get your skin checked every year.
Yes.
Every year.
Do you know I just heard that skin cancer is on the rise, and in certain places the scalp, which how do you say scalp?
Scalp.
Scalp, which you're normal. I'm not.
What did you say?
Well, I say scalp because I'm from Johnston County and I've got, you know, a little redneck in me.
Okay.
But they say that your hairline, people they stop their sunscreen and they're seeing skin cancer in your hairline and in your scalp.
Well, also the sunroofs in the car, like you don't think about it. Even if it's closed, you're still getting all of that sun under your scalp.
We're going to have a dermatologist as a guest at some point. So keep that in mind. So tell me about your orientation. Anything exciting, different, eye-opening?
For those of you that do not know, I left Michigan, Birmingham, Michigan at 7, came down to Wilmington to go to college. And my mom did not let me have my car on campus. So I was literally left on campus in a brand new state, thousands of miles away. And I knew no one. I knew one person kind of, and another person I met at registration or orientation, something like that. I can't remember. So they had overloaded the campus and I was in temporary housing. A big hurricane, Hurricane Fran, came through in 1996 and blew the roof off my dorm. So the room that I was staying in that was already temporary was no longer.
Did y'all party through all this?
No, they evacuated the entire campus. We don't have hurricanes in Michigan.
So you were like, what
so
is happening?
I remember calling my mom on the little landline, you know, in our rooms and saying, I think this might be very serious because all of the people on my floor that are actually from here are freaking out. I got on a Greyhound bus and took the bus to my boyfriend at Virginia Tech and stayed with him until the storm was gone. But then I came back, I had nowhere to live. Long story short, I didn't get the dorm experience. So I didn't actually get to meet a ton of people right away. There was a girl in my English class who had given me her number and said, give me a call. Let's go out. It's the second semester. I was talking to my mom again. And she said, why don't you call that girl from English class? You got to get out there. You got to meet more people. Crystal ended up being my angel, literally. I called her. She said, what are you doing? Come on over. I said, I don't have a car. She also lived off campus. She picked me up like immediately. I went
Crystal
over.
Still around. I need her in my life.
Listen to this though. Crystal introduced me to basically my entire group of friends. I lived with her almost 2 years. She literally was my little guardian angel that made the campus welcoming, and it was just such a better transition after I had become friends with her and put myself out there. So I walk into orientation and I'm walking through the lecture hall and I hear, Kate, it's Crystal. Swear to God, her daughter is starting with Joe in the fall.
Stop.
I swear.
So did you get to see her at orientation too?
So we hung out and we caught up and I haven't seen her in over 20 something years.
I love that. Everybody needs a Crystal.
I know. They're like, For all the crystals of the world, seriously, we thank you. I'm extroverted, kind of. I definitely am not the one that's like, hey, come with me. Or what do you, come to eat, or I'm going to eat. Who wants to go? I tend to be reserved in that regard. But my husband is like a crystal. My son Ben is definitely like a crystal. He says hi to everybody. The world needs them.
Yeah,
They
that's so
need those
true.
personalities.
I'm still best friends with a girl that I met. I was in a sorority. We at that time had to move in early. Before my freshman year. And so I was dating a guy from my hometown. I had friends that decided not to rush and pledge their freshman year. So I kind of did it on my own. And I was leaving and I thought, I'm kind of homesick, which is not like me. I am the wild one that's like, let me go meet everybody and say hi. And another girl, we were walking out of a rush activity, and she was dating someone from home as well.
Okay.
And we were like, I'm like, I don't know if this is for me. And out of all of my friends from home, you would have thought she is going to adjust perfectly.
Yeah.
I'm just, like, I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
And I had the hardest time adjusting. If you have kids moving to college, they did have a really great session about adjusting. And
Did they talk about the W?
zoned out during that.
Okay.
But it was really eye-opening for me because they were like, it's so common for the most social kids or ones that are typically introverted to not adjust, well, give it time. They say you have to give everything 90 days.
Yeah, I agree.
Before you can make a decision on anything. I do think that Lauren, the girl I was mentioning, was my crystal, and we are still best friends. See her all the time. She lives in Charlotte. But I mean, we went to school in 1995. So do the math. That's 30 years.
I know.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about all of that. So if you have kids going off to school, good luck. Hang in there.
And don't forget to celebrate yourself, moms. I mean, we're focusing on the kids. I'm sure there's going to be quite the hole when Joe is on campus and not at home. But we did it. Hello. I mean, we've got them through high school, okay? We need to celebrate it. We need to celebrate ourselves.
Yes. And if you need anybody to celebrate with, you call me.
Call Catherine.
I'll celebrate any day, anytime, any place.
And this is a perfect transition or segue because there's a new restaurant in Raleigh that opened a month ago. It was phenomenal. The Napa Wine Bar in Glenwood Place. So the food is fantastic. I am gluten-free. So if you are gluten-free, there are a ton of options on the menu. They're also starting to do lunch and brunch. And on Mondays, you get a bottle of wine half off if it is under $100. So check. It also had a fantastic private room. So if you're looking for a luncheon or something to host, great room.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I have not been in there in the same area. Iron Oaks, which is
the brewery.
Yep, and they have
a brewery or is it just a restaurant?
They have a golf simulator in the back.
Yeah,
and you could reserve a bay. And so we went there just the other week, and the guy that was helping us said the owner would love to be a guest on our podcast.
That is exciting.
So check out that little shopping center. Really good stuff. And it's not
Seriously.
that busy typically, and so you could just
Yes.
easily walk in.
Yes.
I bet that because it's kind of up and coming.
Yes.
It will be. So get out there. We'll link some of this stuff. So if you're new to the area or moving to the area, you'll know where it is.
In the show notes, we will put it all in there for you guys.
That's right. That's exactly right. But it was fun. And so I was using one of those nights to celebrate getting my kids graduated.
Yay. Good.
I'm going to use that excuse for like the next 3 years.
We can.
I mean,
Well, and then when Austin, you get to do it again.
we
We should all moms celebrate each
if we make it, that one right there is going to add a lot of gray hair to me, but I love every second of it. I love every second. And I'm going to have to take a sip of water because again, it's 9,000 degrees in here. And I asked if it was a hot flash, but it's just the room.
It's just the room.
No hot flash. Well, I'm having probably a hot flash in 103 degree weather. It's fun.
It is.
Wait, I felt left out.
You're not. I have this for you. Yeah, we're going to
proud to
discuss
be American.
July 4th in
Yes.
Wake County.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
we are.
because we're going to launch this podcast, I believe, hopefully, if we can figure it out, right before or the week of. So it's a week. What?
Yeah,
Next
we're going
Friday.
to try to launch this in the next few days, but again, we need some help. So if anybody wants to volunteer to help us with our tech challenges,
Please,
come on.
interns, we are ready for you. Okay, so actually, I was really surprised at how much Wake County is doing for 4th of July. You have opportunities around this entire area to see fireworks starting on July 1st all the way through July 5th. So each town has their own little soiree, I guess.
Yep.
That's
Their own
maybe
little
what we would say.
celebrations. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to start in Fuquay Arena on July 1st. They are going to be the first ones to launch the fireworks off. They'll also have food trucks and live music. Yeah. So you might want to check that out. I'm going to link the website.
Fuquay Arena, by the way, if you do not know where that is, or if you have seen the name, I have noticed some people don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's growing and it's such a cute town.
Yes.
Fuquay, it looks like Verena. Some people say Verona. It is Fuquay Verena.
Yeah.
And it's on the outskirts of Raleigh. It's growing, cute downtown area, some great restaurants. But yes, they are having their celebration on July 1st, like Kate said.
Tuesday, July 1st. It starts at 6.
Yeah.
So if you are in the area and looking for something to do, that will be going on. And then July 2nd, we go all the way over to Wendell.
Okay. Different area, but still great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cute, small town.
Yep.
East of downtown Raleigh. And they are going to do fireworks and food trucks and music. I think everybody kind of has the same jam going on in all of their towns. This will be at the community park. So if you're in Wendell on July 2nd, go ahead and check it out.
Yep.
Then we move on to Thursday, July 3rd. You have your choice. You can be in Apex for the fireworks. One of my favorites is White Deer Park in Garner. Have you never been?
No, tell me about this.
Or they're saying Lake Benson. So maybe they changed the name. So this is a little secret that no longer will be a secret. Tim actually proposed to me at this park.
What?
Yes.
Please tell me you're going to go to the fireworks.
I'm not going to be in town.
Oh, I was going to say, you have to go and kiss.
I know, or do something. Okay. Yeah. It's super random that he did propose there, but he's
That's so
we had a
sweet.
white lab and black lab, and they were both involved in it. And it was at the park. But this park is absolutely gorgeous.
I love that.
You look out onto the lake. It's really pretty. There's
Aw.
walking trails. There's actually a Veterans Memorial Park that they put in down there. So that will be happening on July 3rd.
Nice.
At Zebulon, the Mudcats game.
Yeah,
They have a game and they'll be doing fireworks.
that's fun. I've been to several of those. And if you ever need to do a business function, they will do group tickets and cater food out there. So that's kind of a
I
neat
didn't know
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Years ago, I did a big realtor event and invited a lot of my realtor partners, and they catered it, and it's just fun. I mean, grab a beer, hot dog, it's fun. So that's an option. Sure.
I like that. So Morrisville, Wake Forest, they all have their fireworks going on the 3rd of July. And this year in Raleigh, July 4th fireworks are being moved from Dorothea Dix Park, and they are going to the Lenovo Center, which is where the Hurricanes play. There will not be food trucks or music, but what they have suggested is that everybody can get out there and start tailgating.
Who doesn't like to tailgate?
Now let's pray that it's not this hot.
Well, just drink more.
Yeah.
And I should be
And with
responsible.
water.
I was about to say,
You're going to dehydrate.
I should be responsible and say drink water, and you can throw a few cocktails in there too.
You could.
I'm a disaster. The first thing I always think about, you're being responsible, and I'm like, oh, did you party at orientation?
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
That's fun.
But I know. Kate's the responsible one if you can't tell, and she has to make sure that I stay within the lane. So 4th of July, did you like fireworks when you were little? I did not.
No, and it brings up also the good point of watch your animals.
Yes.
A lot of animals struggle. And I swear every year I hear about a dog that has disappeared on July 4th from the fireworks because it's scary and it's loud. So if you have animals, be prepared. This is when the fireworks are going to be going off. And on July 4th in Cary at Cocoa Booth, they are starting their fireworks celebration, July 4th celebration at 3:30.
Yeah. And definitely be careful. Also be careful if you're, letting your kids sell fireworks.
Yes.
I know that I'm not the responsible one in this pair, but I do think about that, and I've heard some nightmare stories. So please keep your pets and your kids, and it can be an adult kid, right? I'll fit in that category. Be safe. But there are a ton of options. So have fun.
Exactly.
Of course, have fun.
Animals
Have fun.
stay home. Kids go with you. Let somebody else do the fireworks.
Yeah.
And if you miss the entire week of the 2nd through the 4th, then you can go to Holly Springs on the 5th and see fireworks, food trucks, music. That is when they are doing there.
You know what? Because the 4th's on a Friday.
Yes.
So we can take into the weekend. I kind of like that. And there's an option after. I like that.
So America, we're going to celebrate
Uh-huh.
in Wake County.
That's right.
Those are all the places.
Because we were born in the USA, baby.
Yes, we were. Yes, we
Oh my
were.
God. So other things that we thought about would be helpful right now because it is so hot. Even my kids can drive, or one can drive, one without me, one with me. The one that drives with me, we're still learning which. That's why I drink cocktails at night.
Yes, it is.
But they have enjoyed, there are 2 ice cream places that are downtown Raleigh in the Smoky Hollow area. I have been to one, but not both. And they were like, you have to talk about these places because they are fairly new, but they're different. You can get ice cream anywhere, but I think one of these is about the experience. I can't even pronounce the name of one of these, and if I botch it up, I hope the place doesn't murder me.
I have not been to these.
Okay, so one is called the Milk Lab.
Oh, I've heard of this. Though. Now, is this a chain?
So I don't know.
Okay.
Don't call me out for not doing my research. It is in Smoky Hollow. It is downtown, but it is great. My kids love it. They dip. You can get an ice cream thing, and they dip it in chocolate and toppings and all of that. Now the other one, I am going to spell it Morelia. It's Spanish. Like the couple that when lived in Brazil came back and opened this up. And how would you say that? And even if I could pronounce right, my accent's terrible, so I can't. I would Morelia. Anyway, we will link that.
I don't know.
Don't listen. Just Google or click the link. And they are popsicles, and you can do over 1 million combinations of sauces and toppings and
In a popsicle?
on a popsicle. And they look delicious. My kids have had them. I have not. But when it's this hot, and they're close to each other. If you want to split your family up or your friends, one go to one go to the other, then y'all can compare. So those are 2 things you could do. Another thing that I thought might be interesting, many of you are members to pool places, but there are public pools in the area. And I know some people are like, public pools, y'all, I've been to several, and they're really great.
They are. They're awesome. Utilize them. There's splash pads, too.
Yeah, and they are, and we'll link this too, but there is Ridge Road, the Optimist Pool, Lake Park Swim Club, Triangle Aquatic Center, Longview Pool, Nightdale Community Pool. There are so many. And if you are like my family where we go to the pool maybe 3 or 4 times a summer, but you're paying for a year-long membership. And I am not discouraging. Being a part of a club is amazing, or a pool community or tennis. There's so much. But if you are in that phase of life, or if you don't want to commit to that, there are a ton of community pools that are great. And we'll link those for you as well. And right after I leave here,
I would let you go jump in the pool.
I might go jump
Seriously.
in this dress because it's hotter than.
It's starting to feel kind of wet in here.
Okay, that sounds gross, but it is pretty hot. Yeah, I'm sorry. Can I just tell you one quick story?
Yes. Yep. Can.
So this happened during the summer. It's a parenting fail. I can't say the word F-A-I-L. I say fail, and it sounds like F-E-L-L. But anyway, a parenting fail. Fail, whatever. It was 100 degrees. So I was probably angry and mad from the heat too. Hangry, all of it. So my kids had, and it was my fault for letting them do this, basketball goals, the little plastic, little Tykes basketball goals.
Yes.
One was on one end of my den, and my den and kitchen are kind of a long thing, and one was at the end of the kitchen. So they had a full court in our living space, right? Okay. And I allowed it to happen mostly to be like, oh my God, if they're going to be entertained for 20 minutes, I'm in. So they played back and forth. They would throw the balls. And they were the little plastic balls, but it didn't matter. And so one morning I had to wake up early, and I was presenting to a group, and I was doing this presentation. And so I actually got up and showered, not like today. And I dressed, and I made myself look as good as I can look. And the boys were going to leave for camp. Anyway, I was getting to leave, and I have a chocolate protein shake in the morning. That's my breakfast. I would love to have a biscuit every morning, but I won't let myself. So I've got my little protein shake. The kids are playing basketball. I'm walking out the door. One tosses the ball. It hits
Your shake.
my shake, which is a sign of top on it. Goes all over me in my hair, on my shirt. And y'all, I had a psycho code red meltdown. And it was hot, so I ripped my shirt off.
Outside.
I'm walking out the door, rip my shirt off. And y'all, I've had 2 babies, so don't get excited. So rip my shirt off. The kids look at me with the eyes like saucers, like, are we going to die? And, you know, what's going to happen? I pick up the basketball goal
Oh my God.
in one hand.
What did you do?
I opened the door. I walked out in my bra in the driveway, and I passed that sucker like a football. And I live in a cul-de-sac, and our houses are very close together. And I was standing in my driveway with chocolate
Easy.
pouring out of my hand in a bra.
Yeah.
It was 200 degrees, and I threw a plastic basketball goal, probably the furthest I've ever thrown anything.
Love it.
My kids were like, should we go upstairs? Should we run away? Should we get on the train? Should
Scared.
we? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go upstairs. I brush the chocolate out of my hair. I pull it back, put on a new shirt because I had to speak in front of like
Yeah.
300 people.
Oh my gosh.
I get in
You
my
went.
car. And this story, I'm sorry it's taking so long, but it's almost over. I leave, and about 2 blocks later, I pulled over. It was right off of Wade Avenue.
Uh-huh.
And I had a meltdown, a full-on,
Oh my God.
like, I can't do this anymore. I cannot be a mom. I can't work.
Yeah.
And this sweet old man saw me from inside of his house, and he walked out, and he knocked on my window, and I was like, what? And he was like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I hate my kids. I hate my job. I hate my family. And he started backing up.
Oh.
I was
Scared
like, I
him.
did. I scared him. And I don't blame him.
Oh.
He was thinking I had escaped from a loony bin. And I was like, I'm fine. I'm fine. But if you want to take my kids, you can. And he was like, I'm not taking anything from you, sister.
Oh my God.
So anyway, it was 102 degrees.
Oh, wow.
I remember that as one of my angry.
Yeah.
Anyway, sidebar.
Yeah.
If you ever have done anything like crazy or get mad, just know that there's someone out there worse than you that in their bra in the neighborhood throws the basketball goal and goes to a meeting with chocolate in her hair.
Oh my gosh. I want to know what your neighbors thought.
Well, now I've lived there for so long, they're like, that's par for the course.
Yeah.
But at that time, they were probably like,
Who is this lady?
can we get someone to sell her home and put a for sale sign in there? Yeah. So that was my kind of off the topic parenting story for today.
I like it. That's a wrap on today's episode. We will link all of the places and information in the show notes for you guys so you can have that at your disposal. And don't forget to follow and like our show. And next time, bring a friend.
Please do. And always stay rooted and a little reckless, of course. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.